Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper. This is the Piper Academy Network, and that is a orb. That is the market open orb. There's the 15-minute start, 15-minute end. We're trading in the middle of it right now, trying to hold a 3-minute candle on the dynamic reactor. I'm watching it right now, guys. Just keeping an eye on it. Let's go back over to the 4-hour, though. You can see here, looking at the 4-hour, Bitcoin just kind of flagging out and consolidating like it likes to do. Looking at the crypto bubbles today, guys, little mix of red and green on the daily, but take a look at the hourly. Got some big moves here happening on the hourly right now on some of these altcoins. So we're going to be breaking this down. Federal government still shut down. No job data today. How convenient was that? And then we're going to also be looking today, guys, at the monthly. We're going to do a Bitcoin monthly chart breakdown and just talk about, are we in trouble, or are we about to strap on top of a rocket and ride this thing to the moon? We're going to break all that down for you guys today, talk about what that would look like. And then yeah, I think I got an announcement to make. We'll do that right after I come back. You guys know what time it is. Take your seat. Get your notebooks out. Crypto Billy, I see you, bro. Get your notebook out. It's time. See you on the other side. Classes in session. Let's go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Again, Army Piper, still here. Brought to you by Chart Prime with my co-host, the OC guy. What's up, OC? How you doing today, man? You're muted. Really? You're going to mute? Is that the game that we're playing? As we got the big announcement and OC's mic is off. How you doing, man?
Absolutely. Not much. I just gave the greatest speech ever and nobody was hearing it. Yeah, just saying that I'm pretty good.
Go ahead. You're pretty good.
I'm pretty good. I lose sort of the throat. I snore a little bit, but I think today was one of the pretty good ones that I maybe have put a lot of effort to it because I woke up like with a sore throat. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe ice cold coffee with an orange juice might fix it. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
All right, back to the solo show. And that's it. There's no. So I have an announcement to make. And to all the alumni in the chat, I lied to all of you yesterday. I was an absolute. I didn't lie. I was wrong. I had a senior moment. Let me go over here. Let me pull this up here. Let me go here. There we go. Come over here, OC. Let's go here to our YouTube page. Click oldest and look at our first video, Bitcoin in Trouble. Okay. And if we go in here, I'm going to pause it. Look right here. Streamed 2 years ago on October 3rd. Today is actually our 2-year anniversary. Everybody that did super chats yesterday, thank you all. Bless your hearts. But no, don't send any more today. I'm good. I just want to show you. This was what we looked like 2 years ago. Today is the 2-year anniversary for the alumni. So check this out. This is what we looked like back then. Back in the day compared to what we have now. That was our intro. Had this crazy intro. Good morning and welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, still in the Army, no hair,
coming at you live
like,
Monday through
on his
Friday,
chin, like
at
this
9:30
guy
a.m. Eastern
so
Standard Time.
there you go. I did.
YouTube,
I lied. Today is our anniversary.
So thank you for joining me here.
This was our show back then, though. This was our show back then. Look. Here's our setups. Dark, white screens to blind people back then. Thank you, OC. We were still talking about things, though, like the macroeconomic data, that, the important stuff. We were talking about rate cuts. We were looking at Bitcoin. I want to show you guys the Bitcoin chart, though. It's pretty funny. And you guys notice there's no OC, there's no Alexander G in here. I did not have Alexander G as a mod back then. There was no alumni. There was no memberships. There was none of that. But this is the stuff that we were talking about back then. And I want to go to the Bitcoin chart. There's no chapters. And see, if I had Alexander G back then, we would have had chapters. Where is the Bitcoin chart? Where did I do with that? I had it in here. That was news. Anyway, it was like $28,000 back then, guys. When we were doing this 2 years ago. So I apologize. I steered you guys wrong yesterday. We'll get rid of that. However, rumor has it Piper had hair 2 years ago. That's a rumor. That's a vicious rumor. But this is for you guys. Since I didn't have this ready yesterday because I was totally wrong. Today, happy birthday, alumni. There you go.
1, 2, 3. I want to say happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to you.
Oh, see, look at all this history of people that we had on here, man. It's pretty great.
I know. Yeah.
Let's go. Close your eyes and make that wish. Think about it and blow out your candles. Close your eyes and make that wish. Think about it and blow out your candles. Close your eyes and make that wish. Think about it and blow out your candles. Close your eyes and make that wish. Let's go. Think about it. Check and blow out your candles. Happy birthday, fellas. Happy birthday, ladies. It's a party. Light the candles. It's about to get crazy. Grown up babies. Everybody's on the list. Now scream your name. Scream your age. It's time to make that wish. Happy birthday to you. I wanna say happy birthday to you. I wanna say happy birthday to you. I wanna say happy birthday. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. HPPY, BRTXD,
AB loves crypto.
HPPY, BRTXD, HPPY, BRTXD, HPPY, BRTXD. You already know what time it is. I'm just trying to say that's all I'm saying, cause you already know. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. A little happy birthday wish for you guys. Appreciate everyone that has been here with us on this journey. Happy birthday, alumni. Happy anniversary officially today, October 3rd. Alexander G, can we put that down somewhere like to remember next year? It's October 3rd, not the 2nd. That would be great. I think my brain said 2-year anniversary and just automatically shifted to October 2nd. I think that's what happened there. So, OC, it's been great doing this journey with you so far, and let's do a whole lot more years together. How about that, man?
Absolutely. I love the idea. I mean, I was actually telling you know, like right before the show, what a journey we have going through, right? So many adventures going back and forth on the charts. I mean, improving stuff, changing stuff. I mean, what a journey. I kind of like a look back and I just feel like we haven't had that much time on air, right? But when we start recalling everything that we did, it started piling up, right? Like, hey, yeah, actually, we did this, we did that, we went through it, we talked about this, right? And yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
It is very cool. I'm sitting there reading the comments. Buck said, I bet Piper forgets his kids' birthday too. No, I remember their birthdays. I just never remember anything about you, Buck, because you're that insignificant in my life. Much love to Buck. He knows I love him. Trade Intuition, Alexander G in here with us. Paul Hindenburg. Let's go ahead and bring it up here. Let's take a look and see who all we got. Paul Hindenburg, XYZOZYX in here. JR, J to the Rizzle. LBC, I hope your hand feels better, bro. Lunar Beaches Crypto in here with us right now. We got Ninja Glock. We got Mike Play. 2 Dubs in the house. She said, woohoo, she's throwing out the party festivities. She said she wishes she was a whole coiner 2 years ago. That would have been great, right? And then Retro Mike Tech said, no Alexandra mod on day 1 equals dislike. Did I get a dislike? Did he hit it? No, he didn't. Okay, I can see if I can see. Never know with Retro Mike Tech. So shout out to everybody that's in here right now. Appreciate you guys all joining us. OC. Let's go ahead and go take a look at Bitcoin right now. What's it doing? It looks like it's had a little bit of a pullback. The markets are kind of flat on the economics on the TradFi side. What are we seeing on the Bitcoin chart, brother?
Absolutely. Let's go to the 30 minutes really quickly. Remember, we were looking for it to flag out. It's actually flagging out, and it's flagging out much better than I was expecting. A quick advice in here, not quick advice, but let's take a look at what's going on in here. So we were expecting, I was expecting a flag out as a bullish pennant in here, right? A little bit shorter, maybe going and breaking to the upside. And when we were looking for that round up movement to then hit the bottom and break to the upside, but we've been taking longer and more extended on the 30 minutes, right? It's to be expected. Something important is that we are hovering along that trend line, so we can actually update this trend line like this. It would actually still make sense to what we're looking for right here, and it is very, very close to this area. We need to be cautious in here. Something that is looking like in here is that inverted head and shoulders with a cricket bottom to the upside, and we're getting very, very close to get that reversal diamond. Remember, those are my reversal diamonds because we are reversing the trend. All right, so reversal diamonds, and we already are above the zero line. We just need that little itty bitty tiny bit of money flow, and I bet you we move or we do that last movement. Let's go to the 4 hours really quickly just to see where we're standing. And on the 4 hours, spoiler alert, we are making the flag that I was expecting to have on the 30 minutes. Really quickly, before I move out of here, let's bring up our order blocks, and you'll see that we are in between two order blocks, all right? So if this lower order block is strong enough, all right, it might be, well, again, strong enough to make this movement back up and then visit this low, all right? And I believe that right here is where we could be shooting out. So also keep this in mind just in case it happens. Remember, we are right now riding the trend line, and we have a big order blocks below us, which means attraction, which means magnetic force to the downside. All right, let's go back in here. Let's just wait it out a little bit, and let's wait for it to load our next order block. Look at that next order block. All right, let's push it to the beginning of that area. All right, let's also go for that dynamic reactor. Let's go for what was it, the 30 minutes once again, and look at where that big order blocks of the 4 hour coincide with where the dynamic reactor might be in a little bit of time. So this is a real situation that we can be expecting. Nonetheless, we are already on that 30% retracement or 33% retracement out of the breakout, or a 50% retracement out of the order blocking here. So, and we have a higher candle right there. So what is the deal here? I'm going to be waiting for the oscillator to make a move, either bouncing here for a movement to the upside right where we are at, or having the U shape forming here, right? Not peak performance time or anything, for again jumping back up. So there's the things that I'm gonna be going for: a BOS trade, break of structure trade. And yesterday's break of structure, I do recall that we talked about that break of structure trade. But and I lost it. I don't know what happened, and I have it on my broker. So I don't know what's up. So this time I'm gonna be locking this on place. And if for some reason we start doing that, I'm gonna do a break of structure trade right there. And we need to be extremely, extremely, extremely cautious with that break of structure trade, because remember, when you do a break of structure trade, you could be absolutely buying the top. Look at that. If you body here for the break of structure, the thing just went against you really, really quickly. All right. And in this case, well, you might argue that this was a downtrend, all right, in maybe an uptrend, break of structure, or right here, hey, this was actually the example. Look at that break of structured trade. You buy here, and then the thing goes against you, right? So that is the danger that you're jumping in and that you are accepting when you are planning to do a break of structured trade. All right, tends to play it out, but not always, and you need to have a stop loss. So
yeah, and quite
other than that,
often those breakouts, OC goes back and looks at that breakout he was just talking about. A lot of times those breakouts, guys, are you longing a breakout at resistance, just like the same way that you could be shorting at support, right? And so that's why you got to wait for the retest, man. Got to wait for the retest. So always wait for the OC retest, invented by that guy over there, OC guy. So just so you know.
Absolutely. By the way, if you didn't know, guys, that is a little joke. Like I joke around that. Well, who says that? I think Alex said that I invented it, and I said, well, before I invented it, well, the thing just went straight to the top. So yeah, important. The next area of entry is going to be right here at 118. If we fail to break through this trend line, so keep an eye on what's going on right now on this megaphone. Because it looks like that pennant, that bullish pennant, that might not hold too much, all right? But also, could, as we have seen, we have that pullback to the allowed order block right down here. So that's where we're standing. Before I pass it over to you, Piper, let me just zoom out a little bit and get rid of this noise for a second. And we'll see that we have already broken this huge trend line. Remember, it's not about the breakout. We are still waiting for the retest. And look at that alert, 118 that we just set, all right? That will be a great area for a small retest on the daily, and then a blast through continuation to maybe, let's just go for the 124, which, by the way, I'm thinking that we're going to be getting somewhere a little bit higher here, somewhere around 128, 133-ish, if we get that retest and powerful continuation throughout Pumptober. Let's go. So that's where we're standing.
Awesome. Buck said, have I always been breaking in and cutting you off? Or is it just the last year or so? Pretty much always. OC knows I'm just a microphone bully. Love you, OC. Hey, OC, if you can go ahead and add to your list now and have it ready to go. We had a request for Aerodrome and Doge from one of our alumni members. So if we can have that ready to go during the alt session. And then also Lil Kaspa had asked if we do any coin requests. Lil Kaspa, if you got one or two tokens, we'll take a look at them. Just let us know in the chat and we'll get it going there. OC, keep a lookout for Lil Kaspa. He's going to request something to go along with Aerodrome and Doge. But let's go ahead and jump over to the news, get all that broken out. And then I also want to get into how it looks on the monthly chart, because I'm seeing some stuff on the monthly you guys need to know about. So over to the news. Here we go. Looking at the Into the Cryptoverse metrics today, guys. Looking at the crypto market cap, we're currently sitting at $4.134 trillion on the crypto market cap. Total trend on this is at 4.44 trillion. We're currently only down, undervalued about 7%, 6.96. We're coming back up, though, on that rejection line, guys, that we have not been able to break this entire cycle. Once we do, it looks amazing. But here, I'll pull it up and show you. Once we break this median in the past, guys, it's been parabolic moves on price. So this line right here, which, like I said, coming in at like 4.44 trillion, this thing is where we need to break above. It's that red line right there. So keep an eye on that. Let me get back over here. Go back. Thank you very much. Let's go down and take a look at the risk bands for today. Currently sitting at 52.9% on the Bitcoin risk bands, just under 53 right now. Still a 2x DCA for the Piper plan this week. And then looking at Bitcoin dominance, we're at 57.98, just under 58%. Bitcoin dominance holding fairly decent in this range right now without stable coins in that mix. Take them away, it's 62.33%. So how about alt season? Let's refresh this. I want to see what it says. Does it still say 75? It does. We're at 75. You guys know what that means? Right now, effectively, we're in altcoin season. However, we have not stayed in altcoin season long this entire cycle. So keep an eye on Bitcoin dominance to take off again here. And then, of course, that pulls back to ROI on those altcoins. So if you guys want to know how the methodology is done on the analytics for this, it's based on the top 50 altcoins with the 90-day return on investment of an altcoin being greater than Bitcoin. And when you hit 75% of those top 50, not including stable coins in the top 50, when you have 75% of them that have a greater return on investment than Bitcoin for the past 90 days, then it counts towards the alt season. And right now we have that. So we're right at 75%. Liquidations in the past 24 hours, We had 138,235 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at 374,800, $374.87 million total. Excuse me. Largest single liquidation order happened on HTX. It was the Ethereum trade for $5.19 million. Someone said F ETH, no, F my account, and lost $5 million in a single trade. So how about the fear and greed for the day? Fear and greed on Bitcoin sitting at 63. We are in greed on Bitcoin. A warning, red flags, right? We're sitting in greed on Ethereum also at 61 today. And then let's talk about what Kabisi letter put out this morning. Some good info here. He said, we now have a rate cut at 2.9% plus PCE inflation for the first time in 30 years. So we're cutting rates while we have increasing inflation. Rapidly deteriorating U.S. labor market. We talked about that earlier this week. We are seeing the signs of a labor recession, not a economic recession, labor recession. We're seeing that play out right now. Deficit spending running at over $2 trillion per year. Jobs reports are suspended due to government shutdown, and 2 more Fed rate cuts in 2025 into stagflation. That means because we have weakening labor market and rising PCE, that is called stagflation. And so we have 2 more rate cuts going into stagflation. $100 billion plus per quarter in AI capex by the Mag 7. That's the Magnificent Seven of the stock market. That is their total capital expendables that they're going to be putting out in AI. So own assets or be left behind. That's the moral of the story today, guys. And that's why we're going to take a look at that Bitcoin chart. What else we got on here? Anything else? I think that's it. We'll watch this later if we have time. This is a pretty interesting video. Best short 23-second explanation of Bitcoin ever from this guy here on CNN. Let's go take a look at the stock market. How's it looking today? Let's give it a refresh. Make sure we got the most recent data. We do. Looking here at the Dow Jones, up about 0.75% today. S&P up about 0.26 and opening into a new all-time high on the S&P today. Also, the NASDAQ sitting flat right now. Tech sector taking a little bit of a hit on the market side, sitting at 0.000000 infinity. Russell 2K, now it's red. Russell 2K is up about 0.9% today, up 0.93, and the VIX is slowing down. It's calming down a little bit. Let's take a look at the bonds. 10-year yield back out of that 4.0 range to 4.1, slightly up today. Some people selling off their bonds. Oil, let's take a look at that. Getting away from that $60 range. It's up a little bit today, sitting at 61. And then at gold. Gold is it was at 3,900 this morning. Took a little pullback this morning on the stock market, opening at an all-time high. It's $3,896.70 right now, up 0.75% today. Silver's at $47.54, up 2.53% today. Go silver, go silver. Let's go. Hi-O, silver away. If you guys know, you know. Copper up 2.51 today. Platinum and palladium both in the green today, up 3% for platinum and up 2% for palladium today. Let's go take a look at this. These are the biggest calls today for CNBC Pro for my members here. Here are Friday's biggest analyst calls: NVIDIA, Apple, Broadcom, Tesla, Netflix, Ferrari, Johnson & Johnson, Coinbase, and more. What are they saying about Coinbase? I want to go see what they're saying there. Well, we'll just give a quick summary. Get your notebooks out, guys. Jefferies downgraded Apple to underperform from hold. So they think that Apple's going to go down. So that's a sell in their opinion. Goldman Sachs reiterates Apple as a buy, though. So twisted messages there. Wells Fargo upgraded Johnson & Johnson to overweight from equal weight. So they think that it's a little top heavy. They said, but they are attractive. So Oppenheimer reiterated Netflix has outperformed. So they think that this pullback that Netflix has had from all of the stuff going on social media, probably a good time for it to do better. So Wolf upgraded Woodward to outperform from peer perform, and then PayPal perform. They think it's going to do pretty decent move there on that. I want to see what Coinbase says. Amazon's a buy according to Goldman Sachs. There you go. That's Zillow. I'm looking for Coinbase. Where you at, Coin? What did Bank of America say? NVIDIA's a buy. Shocker. There's buy NVIDIA, they said. Ferrari is a buy. Anybody want to buy a Ferrari? OC, you want to buy a Ferrari? Berenberg initiated Ferrari as a buy. You can spend your Bitcoin, by the way, to buy a Ferrari if you didn't know that. Rothschild and Company, Redbirds upgraded Coinbase from a buy to buy from neutral. So they're thinking Coinbase is going to go higher also. That's what we're seeing there on that. Cool. That's your analyst pro calls today. Let's go down here and look at the crypto bubbles. Bitcoin currently up about 0.7% right now. Just slightly up from its daily close. Overall, though, on the hourly, it's pulled back a little bit. Ethereum's up 1.4. Big movers today. BNB, guys. OC, you're going to have to talk about BNB today. You know, we don't like the way CZ manipulates everything over there, but BNB, definitely something that, you know, has been getting all of the gains off of the manipulation that CZ has. He's probably the most powerful manipulator in the market, if I had to say, just because of the sheer amount of treasure of money that they have over there in volume. That's the word, volume. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, we're up 0.6% on Cardano today. Nothing big there. Bitcoin Cash is up 1.7%. How's Zcash looking today? The Zcash sell off? Oh, Aptos is up 6.6 today. That's down to number 34. Aster up 7%. Jeez Louise, where is Zcash? There it is. Zcash slowing down a little bit, only down about 0.8% today after a 174% run this week on the market. Of course, today on the economic data side, guys, we got ISM services. PMI came in at 50, was at 52. They expected it to be 51 to 51.7. What is ISM? You ask. Good question. It's the non-manufacturing report on business. It's based on data compiled from purchasing and supply executives nationwide. Survey responses reflect a change, if any, for the previous month. It's on new export orders, backlogs of orders, so on and so forth. So the index rating above 50 indicates a non-manufacturing economy in that index is generally expanding. So if it's above 50, it's growing. What we get? We got a 50. So we're static. So nothing major there. We were supposed to have all the other data today. If you guys don't know, One Star Impact. You know, you're supposed to get all of this jobs data and everything today. All completely fell off because of the government shutdown. Unemployment right now, unknown. We don't know what it is. How's the Fed looking right now? The Fed Reserve, are they going to do their rate cut or not? Looking at the CME Group Fed Watch here, we are at a 3.3% chance of no change now, of a pause, and a 96.7% chance of a 25 basis point. That chance for 50 basis points completely fell off the chart. So, Alex has a section called risk management. It's a picture of him yelling at me. Nice, JR. Everyone should do that. Let's go take a look here at returns. Nope, I think that's about it, actually, until we get into later. OC, I've got my car wash guys here washing my car right now. If you can't hear my dog barking, that's what she's doing. But let's go take a look at some of those altcoins, and I'll let you take that for a minute, and I'll be right back after I go pay my car wash guys. So what do you got for us, OC?
Absolutely. I have the request for you ready. We have AERO right here, ready to go. Let me clear this up to just get rid of the noise, and let's zoom out a little bit here. This is a classic way of breakout continuation, right? So we have the buy signal here. Remember, it's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. Right here, we're just waiting for that U-shaped pattern, or we're waiting for that flip of the ribbon. Seems that this can happen at any moment. We're looking for the dynamic record to be the actual zone where we jump in. We already have a reversal here. Remember, that also adds to the breakout, reversal, retest, support, and continuation, right? So you can do two things. You either wait for this area to be taken, right, where we're having that U-shaped pattern, when we're having that flip of the ribbon, and you might already be jumping in a little bit, tiny bit late, which is what I'm going to be doing, right? Just giving a little bit of a second right there. And or basically jumping right now, give yourself a little bit of that wiggle room. That's going to be a little bit of a thick stop loss. So let me show you how that would look like. So long position right now, and something chiming on my ear. Not sure what that is. And here is well, but this doesn't really sit well with me. and in the worst case scenario, a break of structured trade. All right. So I'd rather go somewhere around here for this area. Let's add a alert right here, a little bit higher right there. And let's bring up the rest of our indicators. Like, for example, right here, do we have support resistances? Not really. Let me clear this up once again. And here it is. And let me see, what did I remove? All right. Yeah. Got it. So no support and resistances, only the dynamic reactor, which means if we lose a dynamic reactor on the way down, we could be correcting a little bit farther more right here and creating basically or confirming that we are into a megaphone. But so far, we are okay. Dynamic reactor at this point seems like it looks like it's going to hold. But if it doesn't, you know your next entry. It is right here at, well, my alert at 1.0. 3 right there. All right, let's go and bring up the rest of our indicators. We have a loud order block on the dynamic reactor bouncing now. So let's go for that again. Entry a little bit within that order block and aiming our stop loss right below that order block, giving ourselves a little bit of that wiggle room. What else are we looking into here? Well, we have a blue support. What else? Two other order blocks right there, and well, the bottom of the range. So everything points out, all right, that we're gonna be having a sort of reaction in here. If you see the first order block getting taken out of mercy, get out of there, because the second one, it is gonna bounce, all right, but just to create a dead cat bounce, and then we're gonna go visit this bottom one. Look at that. That is the bottom of our range. Not only the bottom of our range, there's just too many things in here. There's another loud order block, right? And not only the bottom, the loud order block, we have a huge ranging zone right here, disparity zone with this big bar. We also have a golden line from predictive ranges, another order block daily, and a support. So we have a ton of confluence right down here. So be careful if we don't hold our setup here. Therefore, we're going to be aiming for a quarter of opposition right here. All right. Not trusting the market. And right there, if we have the good conditions, we're going to be going for half of opposition. So that's what I got on the AERO. I have Dogecoin, a KAS, BNB ready to go. Piper, let me know if you want me to proceed.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm back. That ding you heard was me paying my car guy. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Let's go jump over and take a look at the Bitcoin chart. I want to talk about some things that we're seeing over here. So let's bring you over with me. And yeah, we're back. I had to get the car wash today because it was looking pretty dirty, man. It was looking pretty dirty. It was as dirty. It was as dirty as a hacker. I'm just saying. So looking here at Bitcoin right now, guys. Looking at Bitcoin right now, we are fighting on this purple line. This purple line you guys see here, 126.21. That's our daily close yesterday. I do think if we get above that, we are going to be looking at going higher. Right now, we are sweeping down on the oscillator ribbon, but money flow is starting to come back up and volume looks pretty decent. But I want to take a look today at the monthly. Right now, this is a weekly, and you guys know I've been talking about the bull market support band in line with what we're seeing on the daily dynamic reactor, giving us all of our support here. And we're pushing up. I think a new all-time high is imminent, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, because on the weekly, we can see that we're in a transition here. See how it's gone from pink to peach? That is a transition oscillator ribbon that typically goes back into blue after we come out of that. And right now, it does look like we're trying to transition up. What I'm hoping that we don't see is something like we saw back here after the bearish divergence. We went peach, and then we went in for another lower low, punching through that support band. I'm hoping that that's not what we're seeing here, where we've got this low and it comes in and this comes in for another low, giving us a sweep down. But because we've pumped so much on this weekly candle here, October in full effect, I do think that if we pulled back, we would still be looking at this strong range box here of the bull market support band and the daily dynamic reactor. But let's jump this over to a monthly chart. Let's go here, put this on the monthly chart. Let's look at all these oscillators and just talk about what it's telling us here. On here, you can see we are pretty red hot here on the RSI primed. We got really hot back here, had a decent pullback. Got really hot here, had a decent pullback. We're not quite at that heat level here. This bright red here, it's still an orangish color. If your rods and cones in your eyeballs are letting you see that, if not, take my word for it. But right now, we are seeing that we flattened out, and now we're starting to get a pump candle on the RSI. What this is, if you guys don't know what the RSI primed is, it takes the RSI line, the relative strength index line, and it turns it into candles. And then I go inside of that, and I click and I put it on Heikin-Ashi candles, and I colorize it. So it gives us kind of a heat map overlay on the candles, and it gives us the telltale signs of reversals like, hey, look, you got wicks coming in, your candles are getting pretty short here, and then we get that pullback, right? Let's measure these pullbacks on the monthly from peak to trough. That was 33.5% pullback that we had back in March 2024. By the way, first time that I sold of this cycle back in March 2024, ironically enough, right? The second time I sold, January 2025. Look, we had it there again. That pullback there was 32% pullback. If we are to get up here, we break a new all-time high and we saw that pullback. So let's say this thing hits about 125-ish, right? And we get that pullback of that 30% again, we would be looking at about an $87,000 Bitcoin, $85,000 Bitcoin. It would still set up a higher low. Okay. I just want you guys to know that. So we'll continue to monitor that and keep an eye on it. But as of right now, it doesn't look like anything is telling us big warning signs. I mean, we have some red flags, but nothing big. We do have a little return here on the oscillator ribbon on the monthly. It's pink, but it's starting to curve a little bit, but money flow is down while volume comes up. And I do think that if we do have that pullback, that would be a continuation of this money flow and then a pump. Look at the last time we had this pullback here that was coming in low, that was way higher or way lower on the RSI than what we're seeing now. So like I said, a couple of red flags, but if we do get that pullback, this could drop fairly quickly, give us back into a range here of the 70% and then another bounce. You can see 70% is a sweet spot for the RSI bounce off of these bottoms here. So we're going to keep those levels in mind. We'll keep monitoring them, give a weekly update on them, but let's go take a look here at what I'm seeing on the Bitcoin chart here on, let me get rid of bush marks. No more Mexican spaghetti. There we go. And let's isolate this top off here. And I want to show you guys a trend-based fib extension, which I love to use these things. They're amazing. Let's go here. Let's go trend-based fib extension. And then we're going to pull this from cycle low to cycle high to cycle low. So it's pulling from the bottom that we had in 2018 to the top of 2021 to the bottom we had in 2022. And I want to show you guys how well these fib levels have been respected this cycle with that trend-based fib. You can see here, we had a little bit of front run resistance on the 236. Okay, that's back early in the cycle. We had a little pullback, and then it comes up and it punches straight through the 382. We reject off the 50, we come down to the 382, and we go straight up to the golden pocket. We reject off that golden pocket, get front ran on the 50. By the way, also catching the 52 weeks simple moving average. And from there, we bounced up again to the top of the golden pocket. That's your 0.66 fib. Matter of fact, I can bring these here a little bit better so you guys watching on smaller devices can see. Let's go here, go to font size and put that at 20. That should give you a little bit better number there that you guys can see. Right now, we're breaking above the 0.66. If we are able to get above this and we get a bounce even as low as like 105,000 in the golden pocket, guys, look what happens when we come back and retest these previous levels. Even back here in early cycle, we saw it. We came from here. We had a little rejection, stayed inside this pocket here of the 52-week simple moving average in the bull market support band to go up. If we come back to here, look, still inside of that bull market support band of the 52-week simple moving average. little zone there on the 618, and that would be the catalyst, in my opinion, to cool off some of these oscillators on the monthly that we're seeing. But it would also give us the ability to punch through to our next level, the 786. Guys, we've talked about this level multiple times this week. We've seen this this window come through on, where's it at? Where's my fibs? Fibs. Fixed range, Bitcoin halvings, market tops. Okay, we'll go with this. We've got the 786 here. This is off of a completely different pool of the cycle. That's coming in right there at about 173. Okay, let's go and look at the fib retracement window. No, let's go look at the fib cycles. Look, the 1618 up here coming right in that window too. I'm seeing a lot of things that keep showing me this level here, and I just have to believe that if we continue this trend off of the bull market support bands and we don't break below the 52-week, we're easily looking at about $175,000 Bitcoin. We'll call it that, between that 618 that's coming in right below it and some of those higher levels that are coming in right above it, all coming in this window right here too. Also, top it all off, one last piece of data here. Anytime that we've had Bitcoin have a green September, fourth quarter saw Bitcoin 6 out of 6 times now, has seen Bitcoin move 51% on average in quarter 4. If we take a look here for October, we'll measure it off of this and run 54% up. 51% up, I mean. What's it putting us at? 171,000. Guys, right there in that window again. So right now, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. Shout out to Alexandra G. She made me really go dig in yesterday on my charts to take a look. But when we take a look at what we're seeing on the charts, yeah, there's some red flags on those monthly metrics. But overall, when I look at the chart and the TA and I look at the historic windows of where we bounced, what we've done on these fibs, I think we're poised for $175,000 for Bitcoin on that 786 line there. OC, your thoughts on that, bro?
I was looking at the chart. Sorry, could you repeat that question?
What do you think about that 175,000 that we're seeing there? Everything leading us to say 175K is our target for the cycle. What do you think about that?
Target of the cycle 175. Well, that is actually, if you
for
bring
quarter
up
4.
my charts
For quarter 4.
For
quarter 4.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, I have a target right there from a previous class. It's not exactly that same target, but look at this target right here that I have, 176 for a top in here. And that comes not only from predictive ranges, but also measuring the previous push through, right? And how high could we be getting towards that if we just get just a normal, or quote unquote normal, next push to the upside. Let me just clear this up really quickly. So I think it's totally possible. I mean, just like everything else, we need to trade the day, but I think let's look at 170 something. I think we are on that ballpark. I mean, heck, I was looking at 500K for an extended cycle, right? So everything is possible at this point. Let me copy these candles really quickly. And if I'm not mistaken, I was looking at from here to there. And if we just bring them all the way here and we measure that, well, that's where we start getting that area right here. Maybe I just push it a little bit higher, something like that, for the breakout. And you'll see that it is totally possible just by having another move like that, another impulse move like this one. When that will be defined by, I would say, as smart money entry right there, using our money, retail money, to actually push it as smart money, because smart money kind of decides where all that money is getting put as an influx. So it changes the direction by creating FOMO and fear. So yeah, absolutely possible.
Yeah, let's go over here and take a look. I want to get my ticker moving. Get your ticker moving, sir. Reload that widget. There we go. My real-time ticker at the bottom was not moving. Let's go take a look at this, and then I want to talk about this and then an article, and then we'll hand it back to you to finish out the last of the altcoins.
So just to be clear,
this is a 23-second clip on the explanation of Bitcoin, and it's going to set us up for the article.
so just to be clear, Bitcoin is a non-sovereign, hard cap supply
global, immutable, decentralized, digital store of value. And that's a lot of different adjectives, but all of them are very important. And what that leads us to is it is a hedge against monetary and fiscal irresponsibility from central banks and governments globally. So just to be
So there you go. There's that. Let's go over here and, 10%. If you guys don't know, the US dollar is down 10% in 2025. We're not even done yet, right? 10% purchasing power drop. And so this article here from CNBC Pro this morning, I think really explains what's going on with gold and Bitcoin right now. The retail investor crowd has a new trade it is chasing. It's fueling the Bitcoin and gold rallies. What is this trade? Well, it's the new one. It's called the debasement trade, guys. The big trade for retail investors right now is not Open Door or Palantir Technologies. It's something called the debasement trade, according to JP Morgan. The bank defines it as a trade that reflects a combination of factors, which in our client conversations range from elevated geopolitical and policy uncertainties to uncertainty about the long-term inflation backdrop to concerns about debt debasement due to persistently high government deficits across major economies, to concerns about Fed independence, to waning confidence in fiat currencies in certain emerging markets in particular, and to a broader diversification away from the US dollar. This trade is contributing to major gains in gold and Bitcoin while denting the dollar. Gold futures are up 48% this year to record levels. On Thursday, the metal traded above $3,900 per ounce. The US dollar, meanwhile, is taking a beat and dropping nearly 10% in 2025, and Bitcoin up 27% year to date right now. So we have a narrative going on here where it's not digital gold, it's not the dollar. That's the point of it, right? And so we're seeing Bitcoin and gold both just take off here as a debasement trade. So that's what everyone's chasing right now. And I think a lot of the altcoins that are moving is just simply a speculation factor of its relativity to Bitcoin's movement. And so the assumption is, the sentiment is that altcoins will move with it. And I think that as long as it happens like that, then we will see the altcoins also getting the moves that they're getting. But Bitcoin right now, absolutely being grabbed up for the simple fact that it's not the US dollar. Even though it's compared to the US dollar quite a bit, the US dollar, the number that is taken to buy Bitcoin right now, growing daily. The number of dollars it takes growing on the daily as that debasement happens on the US dollar. So altcoins, though, I do think that they have some sentiment possibilities of upside movement just because of, again, their direct connection to Bitcoin moving up. And so people speculate that altcoins will move also with it. OC, let's go take a look at those alt charts that you got and see how those are looking, bro.
Absolutely. So the first request that we had was AERO. Now let's take a look at DOGE. I had an analysis on DOGE. Did not exactly play it out. I was expecting a movement to the upside. We did have that movement, but a little bit shorter here. And then I was expecting a retracement. Again, we did not lose the trend line, which was a support. So if we did not lose the trend line, I was expecting for us to lose the trend line based on what I was looking for, money flow in a reversal triangle right there. Nonetheless, as you can see right here, we were looking at a next movement or next impulse to the upside with a sweep of the lows. So I was expecting that to happen somewhere around here with this drop back down. Seems like we actually duplicated it exactly instead of having that sweep of the low, which is fine. And then, I mean, we already were looking at this exact setup, right? I mean, it was not just one, two of the expecting for a better price. So if I have audio. All right, perfect. Let's do it. So right here we have a breakout. We have a breakout on the dynamic reactor, a breakout on the trend line right now. Let's take a look at what else does that happen. We flag out a continuation right here. Oh, come on. Right here, we did, where was it? Here it is. We flag out and then have a continuation. So right now we're flagging out once again, and we need to look for that continuation. We're going to be looking for that flip of the ribbon. We're going to be looking for the U-shaped pattern like this for a continuation. Look at what happened right there. All right, let's also look at what happened. Where was the next one? Right here. as we were talking, well, we have that peak performance going back down and then ramping back up. Right here, we have that U-shaped pattern, basically no blue valley. The same thing we're going to be looking for in here, and that's going to be our entry. For areas on the chart as support and resistances, well, we are riding right now the quantum reactor. That is pretty good. The next one is going to be basically right now or at 0.24. So what we're going to be doing is dividing in quarters. Let's go for a long right now at this position, not financial advice. And my stop loss is going to be right below this area. Why am I risking that much? Because the next target is going to be right here at 0.28, which makes this almost a 1 to 2 or 1.5. So that is good enough pretending or thinking that this is a 1/4 of a position. And right here, we're going to have another quarter of a position. So we're only risking half of a position right here. So let's set my alert right there. And let me pass it over to you so I can also take the trade with you guys.
Awesome. You taking it now? You getting that trade? You getting it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go jump over here and take a look at what Bitcoin's doing right now. We got another move on Bitcoin. I'm going to take a look at a couple of other things here too. Bitcoin pushing back up. We are coming back into line with that rejection that we had here yesterday on our high of like 121. Again, I do think that we're going to see a push into the all-time high. But be careful. It's the weekend, low volume. Could get the pullback this weekend and the next Monday or Tuesday. I think next Tuesday, honestly, and I want to show you guys why. And I've talked about this. If you guys have been here every day, you know, I think that next week we're going to get our government open. I don't think it's going to open today. It's not going to matter. I think it's going to open on Monday. It's when we get our market open. And then we're going to be moving into, let me put this on the weekly. There we go. We get Monday market open. Guys, look what Tuesday is. If we pull this across here, again, I'm going into moon math here, but I cannot deny, I can't deny it. There we go. If we take a look at the time between these 28 to 30 days, right? 28 to 30 days between these full moons, okay? Let's go pull that over. Let's pull it over. What are we looking at? We're looking at that. Go to daily now. It's going to be right there. Nope, that's the wrong one, sir. You're the wrong one. That is the wrong day. This is going to be running into Tuesday. We pulled this up before, and it's going to be Tuesday that we're looking at Bitcoin. That's the 4th. That's the 3rd. Yeah, it's going to be coming in on the, there it is. That's why. We're going to be looking at this coming in right about 30-day mark. Right there, Tuesday, October 7th. So I think we're going to get our other bull moon. And I hate the idea that astrology works on these charts, guys. But you can't deny new moon, pump, new moon, pump, new moon, pump. This is the only one that didn't play out. New moon, pump, new moon, pump. Like, come on, guys. Come on. So yeah, Tuesday, October 7th. I think Monday we get our market open, and then Tuesday we absolutely rip off. But if we do get a pullback this weekend, I see nothing more than opportunity, OC. That's what I see there, bro.
Nice.
OC's got his tinfoil hat on. He's going to be doing the moon dance on Monday night.
Let's
OC,
go.
he's going to harness the Mayan bloodlines down there in the peninsula. All right, you got anything else, OC?
Yes, I have KAS TA file request, BNB, and also another one that it kind of like caught my attention. All right, so going for the KAS TA request, this is an alert that I have set. All right, this is not a support because I just don't see an actual support being plotted in there. I mean, I know there is a support. I mean, we have a trend line. This is pretty important. We have the breakout, we have the retest or the pullback, and then we need the continuation, right? Usually we're looking for around a 33% retracement. Oh, wrong button right here. It was supposed to be this one. There we go, for a 33% retracement. We're on that 38% retracement and then ramping back up. But I just have too much resistance at the top, and I'm not above my dynamic reactor in here. Look at it. This is a resistance, dynamic reactor, quantum reactor. And if I start adding more stuff, they just keep appearing at the top. Look at that. Golden predictive range. Then also have a big disparity area right there. Soft order block. So I think you see that things are piling up. The only thing that is holding me on that place, it is basically the same, just looked at different perspective. First, look at this big area, this big green box. That is the part of this range, is the range calculation top. So basically the top of the range. And the other one, it is the trend line that is being formed right here. Or even if we average these highs and lows right there. Right, so as you can see, we just have a flimsy support that might be able to hold. So I cannot give a long position in here, because we could be making a double top and then going back down in here. So let's do this. I'm gonna add an alert right down here. All right, and then I'm gonna add an alert, and I already have it at the breakout structure. So 0.081. And I'm not going to be neither shorting or longing this resistance. What I'm going to be looking for is just calling my attention for a breakout. If we have a breakout, well, then the next, remember, previous resistance becomes new support. So in case we have this first movement, we're going to be looking for the retracement and then the big continuation. All right. Technically, we are once again on altcoin season, so we need to start longing them, but smartly, above dynamic reactor with confirmation. Let me go over BNB really quickly. BNB, it seems to be unstoppable. Here it is. And something that I was looking for in calling on yesterday on Trading with OC, live trades setups, it is that, well, to enter here, we need a retracement. And so far, we had a support right here, so we were looking for that retracement to jump in. We did not retrace. It's fine. We retrace barely here, and we are keep pumping up. I don't have for the 4 hours a clean entry right here, so I'm not entering. I'm not taking it. I'm just doing an expectation, right? Being an expectator to see how that pumps. If I want to I don't know, if I'm feeling very, very risky, go to the 30 minutes to the 15 minutes, and you have a little bit more price action in here. But for me, I'd rather stay on the 4 hours and let it go to wherever it needs to go. All right, I'm not gonna be busting my head open because I did not cut the movement to the upside. That is fine. Eventually this thing is gonna flop, and then when it flops, and look at that, we're getting into a golden predictive range, and this is not new. That started right here with the whole predictive range system, right? So right here is where we can start looking for maybe closer to a rejection, maybe a little bit higher, something like that, maybe even a bull flag. And when we have a flag, well, then that's when I jump in for the next impulse. So something like this, something like that, something like that. All right, so far we just had one opportunity to enter, no other opportunity, straight to the moon. And that is because of, well, it's not that I'm 100% sure, but I can almost guarantee you that this is because of Aster and all of the manipulation that is happening with Binance at this moment. Although Binance is one of the biggest brokers, we still need to be careful with it. So yeah,
very careful. Be very careful. Yep. No pie bear. That's what I put in the chat. No pie bear. I do think we're going to go higher, but JR does bring up a good point. The conference 2049 ends today, and typically at the end of the Bitcoin conferences, we do see a little bit of pullback again going into the weekend. I think it sets us up for a nice refresh, and then Tuesday we'll see what happens. If this thing pumps on Tuesday, OC, I'm straight going trading full moons. That's it. I'll trade every full moon. 1 out of
It's
6
going
not
to.
pumping. Set a stop loss. Use risk management. Let it happen. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. All right, OC. We appreciate you, bro. You got to go run over to Chart Primes to do one of your live classes over there with Alex O Crypto. So I appreciate you, man. If you guys haven't done so yet, smash that like button up. We appreciate all of the support you guys give us here at the Piper Academy Network, and it's helping us grow to do bigger and better things. So shout out to all the alumni and shout out to everyone that smashed the like button. So OC, appreciate you, bro. We'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with trade setups with OC. I appreciate you, bro.
My pleasure. See you around.
All right, guys, we're heading over to Dano Crypto right now. We're going to go raid him. So when you get over there, make sure you drop your graduation caps in there. Let them know the alumni has entered the house. And guys, appreciate all of you. It's Friday. I'm going boating today. I'm going to go out on a boat today here this afternoon. The whole family, we're going to go take Gypsy out on the boat. She loves boating. So that's our plan for today. Enjoy your weekend. Touch some grass. We'll be back next Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, the headlines, everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, guys, trade safe, use some risk management. And as always, peace, love, profits. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys Monday.
That's the rap. Chart stack, data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual, signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next
They don't
one.
know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?